Hello. I'm back, and yeah, that's about it. Anyways, as some of you may or may not know, I have been having issues with my PC bricking itself, and then getting a new PC, which is finally set up and I'm recording on, so if there are some differences between audio and video quality, well, that's probably why. Anyways, uh, that's pretty much it. Well, no, that's not pretty much it. I've been working on some things in the background. I have a backup PC, and I've been working on them. And I really need to stop using ums during the stream, but yeah, it is what it is. So I have a backup PC. It was running a version of it doesn't connect to the internet, so I couldn't do anything. It was running a version of Empyrean that was, let's just say, 2020 pre-COVID. So for any of you who are familiar with Empyrean, you realize just how old that is, to the point where you get the Will Smith meme of, damn, that's old. Of course, I'm adding the asshole after that. But anyways, yeah. So I was working with one symmetry plane, no ability to copy blocks, and just the old copy system where you actually have to select everything from, the old selection system where you actually have to drag sliders around when it's so, it was painful, okay? Regressing back to that level of playing Empyrean is bad, okay? But it is what it is, and it works. And those of you that are in my Discord, well, you got to see firsthand what happened there. And as a thank you for being in that Discord, this ship right here, right in front of you, is available to anyone that comes over to the Discord. Albeit you have to wait a week to get the appropriate role, because I typically wait a week before assigning the role that allows access to the Discord exclusive blueprints, so you don't have people just coming in, taking the blueprints, and leaving, and then republishing them on the workshop. Because, well, humans are, well, human. Not perfect. Not great. Yeah, anyways. So the Ajax here is a vanilla build. Yes, I'm in a vanilla save right now, it's fine. And it is a nose tanking, it's built to nose tank, plus have the agility to move around in combat to evade a lot of fire. So theoretically, I have not tested this yet, which I will do during a recording if I get my shit together and do it. I will be taking this little ship up against a Tovera. I'll see what happens. Or better yet, screw Toveras. Go after another Reserve Orishni. I'll go after a Reserve Orishni with this thing if I can. If I can get somebody to set me up a custom scenario where it's just like a single play field and there's an OPV Reserve Orishni as starter planet, and yeah, if I can get somebody to set that up for me, I will take this thing up against an Reserve Orishni and see if it can win. But anyways, yeah, this is a reward on the Discord to anyone joins the Discord after about a week, or anyone that joins the Discord and has been there for a week, will get access to this. It's just a thank you project more than anything, and the fact that I just wanted to keep building. So, anyways, so before the PC decided to brick itself. I'm not kidding here, it bricked itself. I was working on this big boy right here, which is the wedge tail. We're currently on version 10. As if that means anything. And also we're working on a different stream. Working on this one, the Shadow Viper. Or a different build video, Shadow Viper. Now, while I was getting OBS set up, and I was really sick of just waiting for OBS to get set up properly, and that's a whole nother story. Well, let's just say that I I did some work on this, and I'm finally happy with it. I just wanted to do a big shout out to Dawn for joining me in chat in my building chat one time and just helping me think about how to deal with this. He helped me get past a lot of the build blocks that I have in this. Now, here's something I want your guys' opinion on in the comments. So, go down, take a look at the comments, and make sure that you're primed to put in a comment as feedback, because I'm asking for your feedback here. What should I do with this? The internals here. What I'm thinking here is that I just leave it empty so that anybody that picks up this build has room to add parts to it. Whether you want to add another storage bay, you want to add more fuel tanks, you want to make it into a like cockpit, a actual cockpit or something. Just let me know in the comments. Like, should I just leave it like this so that it has... Well, I am gonna just fill this in right here real quick with some carbon. Should I just leave it like this so that there's an empty space in the middle so that people can upgrade it themselves? I mean, that... Honestly, because this ship already has everything, I can't think of what to put there. I really can't. And it's just like, yeah, what do I do? I mean, I should add some backup generators, but this is meant for players to upgrade themselves. This is going to be a core BP, as some of you who are familiar with my channel are aware of. And it's going to be a core BP. And the reason I want to build this is so that it's got room to be upgraded. It's got room to be improved and turned into something that you want on your own. It's meant to be tweaked a little bit. It's meant to be tweaked by the user, and I did not mean to turn the entire thing into glowies. Anyways, I'm going to work on it a little bit right here while I talk. So, this is going to be a core BP, and for those of you familiar with it, it is the Shadow Viper. This is something that I've been working on for a couple of months, and has gotten me stuck, and I've had to, I've had to be really creative with it. And I do know that symmetry plane is not on right now, and that kind of is intentional, and at the same time it's kind of just like, well, I forgot to turn it on as well, but we'll just say it's intentional. That's a little secret between you and me. Anyways, as you can see, there's a little screen tearing on screen. I don't know how to fix that. I have the recommended resolution for everything, and I don't know how to fix it. I mean, screen tearing is just a thing with this game. It is what it is. Nothing's perfect. And with a game this old, nothing's going to be perfect. I'm not looking for an A-list game here. I like this game because I get to build and create. Anyways. So, this, I believe, once I get some other minor shaping things out. Guys had enough look at the Ajax? Okay, I'm gonna get rid of it. Oh wait, no, I want to show something on it at the end of the video. I'll leave it there. So this was one thing that irked me to no end, but you know what? It's fine. The reason that there's a hard edge here is because, well, there's a thruster here. Can't be perfect shaping everywhere. Believe me, I wish there was. So you've got a entrance there for the thruster. It's not perfect. I'm sure that somebody can figure it out. But yeah, nothing can be perfect. It is what it is. What is the old saying? Perfection is the enemy of good. Or is the Achilles of good? I should probably look up these quotes before I shoot my mouth off, but you know what? It's fine. I've thought about filling that with glowies just to make it link up, but that would mean that I'd have to push this wing back to make it link up properly. and just not gonna do that because I've already tried that and it didn't work. But yeah, the Shadow Viper looks like it's done. I've got some, how do I phrase this? Some grouping choices to make here. You know, I made the custom groups, and then when I did, I realized I forgot certain things. Like, I forgot the detector, I forgot I forgot enough fuel tanks, I forgot enough O2 tanks, and these jet thrusters are ungrouped because I was using symmetry plane while messing around on the internals, and I'll have to redo that. There was a wireless extender missing. Just when I do the grouping on this, I do custom grouping because I want you to be able to see everything at a glance. I haven't added the turrets to this. Fuel and O2, equipment, core systems. You got your manual fire weapons here, turrets. I guess I could show you how I do the grouping. So first things first is that I do minigun turrets, because those are usually left on unless you want to turn them off for a special situation. So I always put them as the first group, or almost always put them as the first group. There are exceptions to everything. Then I put, let's take a look at my groups here. Looks like we only have manual fire. Okay, so next we're going to put manual fire weapons. Not manual tire, manual fire. And then once we've done and filled in these device groups, we are going to go over to these and turrets, miniguns. Shortcut, manual fire. And I realize that there's an incongruity in what I put here. So we're just going to put turrets. Well, actually I'm going to split the difference. Minigun turrets. And then manual fire. There. Make it extra descriptive. Now, I always do a custom group of warp and shields. That way you have your Pentax tank, your warp drive, and your whole and your shield. Can't speak, that's not unusual. And then I do one group for all of the thrusters, because the thrusters normally are 5 freaking groups, like up, down, left, right, back. Yeah. It's not great. And then you've got your storage, which is always number 1 on the group list because, well, that's just me. I want that to be at the top to where I can see it immediately when I hit the menu. It just saves time. So I want to be able to see everything that I need access to quickly. I'm going to collapse these groups again. Everything that I need access, and I'm also going to do it this way because I just can't see these groups very well. Everything that I need access to quickly is always at the very top. 1, 2, 3. Really quick. And it saves time in the long run. Like, every second you save is another second that the enemy's not going to shoot at you and kill you if you're not paying attention. Okay. Okay, maybe that's a little bit over the top, but you know, time is important in our lives. Come on, guys. Just save time wherever you can. So I spend a little bit of time on the front end so that I can save you guys hours on the back end. I'm not kidding, I probably save people hours at this point. And I'm not going to do the math on that because I don't have enough data. So, detector usually goes in, well, I'm just going to make another group for it. Whoops, wrong button. We are going to do detection systems. Now, the reason I type systems is because other scenarios, like the add-on to vanilla, they add other detectors, and I know that's a flimsy excuse for making a custom group just for the detector, but it is what it is, okay? It's fine. It's personal preference. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Now, I'm going to do a custom, just simple follow. Yeah, I can't spell. Shush. Upgrade. Fade. Gosh, having such a hard time following. Okay, so over here it creates custom signals. So first you create the signal there, then you go to the devices that you want the signal to follow. You click on signal logic with the device selected, and then you just click follow. Now, if you're using ramps and want it to open when you're in range and close when you're not in range, you'll turn on this little inverter signal. But for this group, we don't really need to do that. And then I'm just going to toss them in equipment because, well, that's where I toss everything that doesn't need its own group. Okay, now, once that signal is turned to green and turned on, like that, it'll open those. Now, I don't like how it's just a simple block shape there in the middle. So let's go ahead and get rid of the blocks. And instead of using that, let's use something else that looks like a pipe. And then let's assign a pipe texture to it. Well, first of all, let's do that. And let's see here. Let's just use a simple texture of... Where's the wire texture I'm looking for? I know it's around here somewhere. Oh, right, it's on page 2. Wow, I've been gone a long time. Now, I am using this white texture everywhere because it's going to get switched. Really? Texture map? That's what you... Okay, I guess I'm not going to use that then. Does that give it a different texture? No, that of course it does that. Okay, we can't use that texture. Let's use this one because it can be rotated on this texture map, hopefully. Ah, yeah, that works. And instead of that, let's... Well, first of all, let's... Oh, that doesn't add anything to it. Okay. Let's use... nope, that's not gonna work. That'll work. What am I doing? Just shift copy. There we go. And then again, I'm gonna click that texture, shift copy it. Not shift, control right click copy. My bad. There. Now we have an upgrade. Now we've got a space where you can get up into the upgrades. Okay, that's done. Do I want to use a custom texture on that wing there? Well, let's take a look. But first, let's change it to the ship to the color that it's going to be in the end. Okay. Hit OK on there. That's why I use that single color constantly. It's just very, very easy to switch it out. Oh, that looks really good. Yeah, that looks like it. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. It's looking like a chunky boy. Oh. Right. I haven't finished that. Yeah, I'll need to do a replace texture there, but that's fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this as what it should be, which is this glowy texture. Because it's the engine intake, it's going to be... Yeah, let's not go there, that's just asking for trouble. Okay, anyways. Next, I'm just going to do this. I am going to need to do a control copy to or a full texture replace there, excuse me. And we're just going to use this texture. That container extensions will need to be switched out for something else, probably, but for the moment, I'm just going to leave them as is. In fact, I'll just use that texture, it's fine. Now, for this, I want to do something different. Let's do... No, I don't want to use that. That? Maybe? Yeah, that'll work. It works in that space. Doesn't really line up, but whatever. Now we're gonna go back to the glowy, and I'm going to put this glowy here, because there's hot exhaust, or there's hot intake air that's being compressed. Don't fact check me on that. I know how turbofans work, okay? It's just... I feel like I'm being defensive there when I don't really need to be. Yeah, whatever. Is that going to be seen from... Oh, okay. So yeah, let's not do that. Let's just use the regular black texture there because nobody's going to see that except that where you don't want to see it. It's fine. I don't need black texture everything. I mean, I don't need a glowy texture everything. Excuse me. I do need a black texture everything. That's just part of the GI build style. Okay. Carry on. Do. I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking for, but at the same time, it's kind of not. Let's just do... I mean, I'm tempted to do that one yet again, but I've used that so much, it's not great. That's not great, too. It looks like gears, which are gonna get melted by the heat, so let's not do that. Ah, there we go. That'll work. Wait, why isn't there a block there? Come on. And I probably don't have symmetry plane on. Yeah, that would be too easy. That would be too smart to have symmetry plane on. Let's turn symmetry plane back on. Oh, symmetry plane is not back on. Okay, that's the wrong symmetry plane because I never said it. Whatever. That's fine. I'm sure everything is fine. Everything is completely fine. So what I'm doing here is, instead of going over there and texturing it, I am just copying these blocks because they're mirrored on the other side, just removing them and copying them. It's just a lot easier to do it this way. I need to send a text real quick. Where's my phone? I don't need to be saying this on stream, but anyways, give me a sec. I need to deal with this. Where was I? Right here. Okay. And I think that's going to, if I did my job right, or if I did this right, it's going to do it. Of course not. Oh well, whatever. Now this is the problem with using black. And, yeah, I know. It is what it is. So I copied the wrong block there, which is just great. There we go. Okay, now I can just do this mostly by memory. So we'll just do that one. That one and that one. I need to copy and paste that. I'd like to remove that texture that's behind it though. That's fine. There we go. That's a quick way to do that. Copy that texture, make sure it's applied to all those facets. We did the black texture there. Just the black solid texture there, there, and there. Then on that texture, I kind of forgot what I was doing there. Oh, right, it was that one. Okay. Now, I get this is not exactly symmetrical from top to bottom, left to right in each of these thruster casings, but you know what? I'm not worried about it. Okay. There we go. Let's make sure that it looks good. Yeah, good there. It draws the attention into those, which is exactly what I want to do. And it also houses, it also does this little curve that kind of obscures that, the odd shaping there, which is really, really good. Now, that's done, so I can go back in here and turn off Upgrade Bay, because, well, I need to do that. Come on, copy what I want you to copy. I'm just going to put black there. Now, I did check I checked mountings here, or spacing here. So I need to get this. I need to get the black texture, and just do that. Because you can, if you have turret limits turned off, what you can do is add more turrets to this, which is lovely. And I like to play on servers and single player with the device limits turned off. Now, I know not all servers do that, and Sir Sneeze visited me again, and my head hurts now. Great. Anyways, servers such as HWS and probably others don't allow more than the amount that is set by the game or the scenario of the amount of turrets, so they always have settings such as like turret limits turned on, which is actually device limits, which is the parent group for limits of devices. And yeah, I don't like those servers because it just basically means, oh, you can't build as big as you want, or oh, you can only have 10 quantums because that's some arbitrary limit that the creator of Vermilion put out, and we didn't discuss, even though it's an editable option, we didn't discuss with the community how much the limit should be. And so instead of talking with our community and asking what the limit should be, since it's customizable, we decided to just obey Overlord Vermilion. Sorry. Think for yourselves. Talk with your community and customize it. Don't be lazy. If you're gonna make a giant server cluster, go all out to make... Go all out, okay? Anyway, then, rant. But yeah, that's why I'm not playing on that cluster. I just I'm sorry. No. I just don't care enough to play on that cluster. And there's so much drama on that cluster, it's not even funny. People that can't... people that keep grudges are just constantly in that community, and I'm just like, I don't freaking care. I don't have the time to deal with you. Anyways, that went downhill and rant fast, but that's alright. I'm entitled to my opinions. And you are free to disagree in the comments. Anyways. Heck, smash that dislike button if you didn't like that rant. It just means that you care, and that you believe in letting me know that you didn't like it, which means that you care. And that you spent... Okay, this is going into clippable territory where I could be roasted alive for it. Let's change course a little bit. It's going off the rails. What's that phrase? Don't voice your opinions, and don't voice unpopular opinions in your video because it minimizes your audience. Anyways, there is truth in that, but I'm gonna risk it. Let me know in the comments if you disagree, or what your thoughts are. I'd actually love to hear them. I like hearing different points of view. I like people saying why they think this way because it gives me a different perspective. Just put it in the comments or hop over to the Discord. I mean, there's a link in the description. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, I think this thing is ready. What am I missing from the checklist? So we have so let's go through the pre-submission checklist, okay? I haven't done this in a video before, so maybe I should put a custom, like, I'd have to make it during stream. It's fine. Or during recording. It's fine. Because I don't do video editing. I do these in one take. That's why they're so, interesting. Okay. So, my pre-submission checklist before I submit it to like the workshop or where other places I'm going to submit it or put it on the Discord. I go through a checklist, and the checklist starts on the main tab. So first off, it starts by turning on, if the ship has a shield, turn it on. Well, here's how the thought process works. If the ship is meant for combat and you want it to go right out of the gate, like if it's a combat ship and you need it really quickly in combat from the BP factory, then yes, leave the shield on. Turn the thrusters off. I turn the thrusters off because it saves just that little bit of power when you're starting it. Now, whether this particular signal, the pilot mode, is on or off in the blueprint doesn't matter because it always reverts to off. So you're going to have to turn that on or off depending on whatever you want to do. Have I done the custom device groups, and are they actually followed? Yes. And then the next check. Have you set up the turrets to the way you want them? I am going to do that now. So normally, because this isn't meant to fight capital vessels, I turn that one off. Because it's not meant to fight hover vessels or small vessels, turn those off. It is going up against bases, so leave that turned on. You do need to deal with drones, so I just leave that one on. Unless there are other considerations, which are not here. Warp drive turret. I'm just going to leave it just for basic to turret and generator. Now, I always make sure to turn off player factions and prey, because A, prey wastes ammo. You're shooting at things like parasaurs or other things that just aren't aggressive to you. So I just turn that off because it wastes ammo. If you want those turned on, you can turn them on. Player factions, I turn that off because there are a lot of servers that say, as a rule, don't set your turrets to target player factions. So let's just avoid some headaches and potentially avoid some harm to other players down the line. Have I done the grouping? Yes, I did all the grouping. Nothing is in the unsorted. Signal logic has been applied to the limited amount of things that I'm going to put signal logic on. Oh, wait, no, I missed one. Mobile constructor. I need a signal for that. Mobile constructor. Whatever. I probably misspelled that, and I am completely fine with that. Now we're just going to put it on follow, make sure it's turned off. Good. Red is off, green is on. Next, we are going to go to CPU statistics and make sure that the CPU is within CPU. Yes, it's within CPU. Okay, next we're going to go through the devices list and go through, do I have a cockpit? Yes. Do I have an ammo storage compartment that is actually connected to storage container, connected to container extensions? Well, let's check that. That one's not connected. Oh, I'm glad I went through that, but I'll just show one HUD and I'll go through the rest of the list for the moment. That one's not connected to anything because it's the default for KSU, which means that it's not connected with its container controllers that it's supposed to be connected to, or container extensions supposed to be connected to. So let's go ahead and mark that. Container controller ammo, it's got those. Oh, I haven't labeled these. Okay, we'll go through that in a minute. Next, are the turrets set up properly? I didn't hit apply to group. That's my bad. Let's go ahead and get that sorted. Now, I'm going to turn off predators just because I don't want to deal with them. Okay, so leave that one on, and make sure to apply to group, because I probably applied it to one turret or something, or didn't even hit apply to group. I'd have to go back and look at the recording. It's fine. Next, are all the devices where they should be? Yes, they are. Equipment, do I have a detector? Yes, I made sure I have a detector. That's in detection systems, it's fine. Is the name set correctly in the blueprint? Well, we'll go over that in a minute. Well, actually, I'm just going to do that now. So, save as. No, I'm not going to do save as. I'm going to overwrite the initial one. and that is in Shadow Viper. Make sure you don't overwrite your other blueprints. So, yeah, that's something I've done a couple of times and had to load up a blueprint, a backup blueprint, because, yeah, that happens. Shadow Viper, where are you? Did I... Oh, okay. Nope, it's not in here. Okay. So, I haven't done that. So, save as g.e.i.shadow viper. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and save it as that. Next, we're going to go in and fill out these two. Now, this is blueprint spawn name. This is what it will show if somebody sets it. If you don't set the blueprint spawn name, it will spawn as the actual name that you see in the library. So you have, like, I don't need to put my GEI logo at the very beginning of this. So, because it's going to be tied to the faction. So basically, if you have another faction name and you spawn something and it already has a faction name in front of it, then, well, great job. You know, it's a great job. You have both your faction tag in front of it, and then the faction tag of the person who created it, plus the name. It gets cluttered, okay? So set your spawn name. Group name, I usually just use this. This is only useful for, like, POI building, but if you're building something for the workshop where you just want to add a little bit of a description to it, make sure to just fill this out yourself. Okay, because it shows up in that column there. It shows up in this column here, and it shows you what it does. Its classification, a little bit about the ship. You want that. So we are going to put T4 combat SV. Now, blueprint ground offset doesn't do anything for SV. Blueprint tags doesn't do anything for SVs or workshop items. Just ignore that. You don't really need any of these except when you're dealing with, like, bases. When you're dealing, like, building bases for the workshop or POIs. That's what these filters are for. Now, we're going to go ahead and set those. And then, where is the checkbox? Something's wrong here. Oh. Ah, yeah, here we go. Next, once you've saved it to your library and you've got all those fields filled out, you got it set here, you're going to Alt-O on the BP once more and override it. But this time, before you hit the override button, hit the clear pivot point and then hit override. And the reason that you need to hit that clear pivot point is because it prevents jankiness. And it prevents jankiness. And trust me, it saves everybody a headache later down the line. Okay? Just trust me on that. And each time you save an updated copy, make sure to just hit clear pivot point. Yeah. Anyways, so let's figure out why this container controller and its container extensions are only 4K. So let's take a look at the menu. Again, we're going to look at it in the device menu. And 40.00 KSU is the default amount. Now, as you can see when I clip into it, it says container extensions around it. So one of two things has happened. What has probably happened here is that I picked up the container controller at some point and copied it into place. So if that happened, then something went wrong. I'm just like, it's fine. So we're gonna go ahead and copy that container controller. I'm just gonna trust that I'm looking at the right thing, and then we're just gonna remove it once. And then we're also gonna turn off the Hall shield, which I'll have to turn back on. But then we can just place the container controller there and just one of the connected container controllers, and it didn't do shit. Okay, now this is going to require more thought to debug. So let's go ahead and first off turn it back to white because, well, my eyes thank me. Okay, let's turn it back to white. And second, we are going to go into the debug menu options here, turn time to 0, and reset the sun so that it's just above us so that we get a clear white, a clear field of vision. So we're going to copy that container controller extension, and we've got one on that side, and we are just going to dig out container extensions because, yeah, the game's interesting. So we're going to turn symmetry plane back on. That's another container extension, and we're just going to look and remove a couple of them. Now this thing has a lot of container extensions around it for reasons, because it's smart to have container extensions around it. Okay, why is that not a container extension as well? Oh, because it's a custom shape there. Well, we can deal with that. Okay, it's fine. And I'm going to put a container extension there as well. So we're going to chop that out. Now I am not happy that this shield is not surrounded by, it was surrounded by container extensions, which is not great. So let's go ahead and just surround that with a little bit of steel there. And try and figure out what the limit of these container controllers are, or container extensions are. Well, that's the warp drive, so we can't expand that way. Maybe they were there because... oh, right, okay, yeah. So, that's not great. There's container extension there, there, and there. There, and there. Why do you have such a big shadow behind you? Oh, because it... never mind. I'm not used to playing with shadows turned on, where you get shadows from your suit light, but it's something that I enabled. Okay, so that's a container extension as well, but I'm just going to leave that there. Undo. Because that's completely fine. Okay. Now we have to add them back in because the game is deciding to be janky, I guess. I don't know what's going on here. So as you can see here, it should be... wait. Did I just remove container extensions not realizing that it was set properly and it was completely fine and I was just thinking that number was something else? Possibly, but we're gonna find out. I make mistakes. It is what it is. I make mistakes. Never forget that you are human, you are going to make mistakes, and sometimes you're just... yeah, it happens, okay? I make mistakes. But I am also big enough to admit when I made a mistake sometimes. Sometimes. Okay. Let's go ahead and replace textures on those steel blocks. And what are you at now? Oh, 4,117. So yeah, it looks like I added 117 extra storage volume by going through that, but because I was a numpty thinking that it wasn't connected at all and that the game was bugging, and when in fact it was my fault that was happening. So anyways, yeah, I'm not perfect. I don't ever claim to be perfect. Or if I do, remind me of this. Okay, so one thing about this build that I really don't like, and I know this is like on me, but the fact that the warp drive is next to these two back thrusters, and even though the rational portion of my brain is just like a lot has to go wrong for those thrusters to get blown up because they're embedded so deeply, it's just like, I have something explosive next to the warp drive. Yeah. Yeah, that's how my brain works. I'm just like, I know it shouldn't be a problem, but at the same time, I know it's going to be a problem in one rare instance someday. Yeah, it's just how my brain works. I'm just like, reasonable risks. This is one of those reasonable risks. This is like risk management and training, whatever. Yeah, it's fine. I just have to keep reminding myself that it's fine. Stop worrying about it. It's fine. Okay. Anyways. Let's go to symmetry plane, turn that back off. And resume the checklist, which I think I went all the way through. So the last portion of this is going to be naming these container controllers. Now, when I name these container controllers, I go to this site called htmlcolorcodes.com. Now, there is a link in my Discord. There is a channel in my Discord so that you don't have to go through. So, you can find the link to this. But there is a link, there's a channel in my Discord that is accessible to anyone that has the EGS role, or anyone that joins the Discord for that matter, called GEI Resources. Now, on this channel, I'm not going to share my screen in my Discord right now because I have a lot of other stuff on there that I don't really, I can't really show you. Let's see if I can actually put it so that you can see it. Just drag that into a folder. Well, no, because I have several Discords that are not strictly, how do I put this? I'm in several Discords that support political causes, and I don't want to bring that into the video. So, yeah. And then there's, like, secure servers that I'm into that I don't want people to see the logos to. So, no, I can't share my screen right now. Suffice it to say that I have a channel that has both the website and all the resources that I use to color code these. Okay? I have all of these ready. And I can just copy and paste these color codes into here. So first off, what we're going to do is, because I already have this pasted, I already have this on a notepad. Look at that. Just copy and paste. Just easy copy and paste. And this is how you color code labels in this game. Now, it might be helpful if there, you can see the color a little bit more vividly there. Now, I can minimize it a little bit, and it's a little bit more visible now that I got rid of the end tag. So we have cargo alpha, this is 2. Oh, I didn't name the right one. Okay, give me a second. This one doesn't go there. Control X. No, select all, Control X, and go to Control V, cargo alpha, because that's got more cargo space. Which one was I working on that had the cargo space? Oh, it was this one. Okay. So again, Control X while it's selected, and Control V, and it just pastes it into the one that it is. And we are going to add that back into the storage group, and I'll show you why I do that in a minute. Next, we have this one, which is 2.25K. This one's 4.12K, so we're gonna put that 12, and then K, capital SU. There's not enough space for that, so let's just not do that. Okay. There is a character limit to these. Okay, next we are going to put, aux storage, Control C, and we're going to go back, and we're going to Control V, aux storage, and add that to the last group. And we're going to do this one, Roman numerals for number 2, add that to the last group, and I realize I'm choosing purple and blue. We can edit. I can edit those colors in a second. Give me a sec. Don't worry about it. For the moment, I'm just putting these tags in here so that you can see. Control C. Just I've used these tags before on other builds, so I could technically just spawn another build and copy it off of there, but it's a lot easier when it's already on Notepad, or in this case, a Discord channel that's dedicated to this. I prefer green for ammo because, well, I use other colors for other things. So, yeah, it is what it is. Next, we have... Let's see, I'm going to go out and figure out where these cargo boxes are. Just show on HUD. And the gear boxes, whenever I use these boxes and think of what they're going to be for, I choose the box that's let me rephrase that. I choose the container or the cargo box that is least likely to take damage in a firefight to be the storage box for my gear, for my critical gear. So we are going to copy that in a minute. I guess it doesn't really matter with SVs, but with CVs it's a lot more, how do I put this? It's a lot more important with CVs because, well, you've got more rope to turn it into it. Gearbox, okay. I'll tab back out again. Next, we're gonna copy bits and bobs. Control C. We gotta have a bits and bobs box. I mean, come on. There always has to be a bits and bobs box. And I'm gonna choose that one. The bits and bobs for the reason that it's right next to the detector, and yeah. Okay. Next, we're going to go to the forward boxes and designate one of them as medical supplies. So you put your meds in a box, and we're going to color code it with red. Control C. Sorry about that. That's me alt-tabbing. It's causing that to happen. Causing the camera to jerk around because I can't just exactly move my mouse onto the other screen. I'll try and work on that. Give me a sec. And then the last box will just be... Let's see, what do I want to label the last box as? What should we name? Oh, we can just call it Bits and Bobs too. Okay. There we go. That's a much smoother transition there. Control C. And we'll just name this Bits and Bobs too. And we'll just put a 1 behind that. And now you'll see why I was doing this. So we go to add to last group, add to last group, and add to last group. There we go. Now they're all color coded. I don't like that color, so I'm going to go pick a color that is, you know what? Actually, let's just remove that. Yeah, that'll work. I mean, you don't always have to put a color on these boxes, as long as they're different from all the rest, you know? It's just be creative. And with that HTML color code site that I have linked in the Discord, what you can do is just change that number to the code that it gives you based on the color that you want. So the coding's already set up for you. You can just put it in there. You can just put the hex code in there. And you can change it yourself. So it's not that hard to do. You just have to know what it is. Now, let's go back in and turn off the show on HUD for these. Is there anything else I need to do with this? I mean, I could put some LCDs in it, but to be honest, it's an SV. I'm not going to put LCDs in an SV unless it has an internal cockpit. It's just too time consuming, and yeah. I don't know. I might change my mind later and actually put LCDs there, but I don't really know. Oh, that looks janky. You know what? That doesn't look janky at all. That actually looks pretty interesting. Let's, symmetry plane. I have a feeling that's a container controller that we were goofing off with earlier. Nope, it's just a steel block. Okay. There we go. That looks even better. In my opinion. In my opinion, that looks better. Not really. Okay, let's do this properly. And let's use carbon for this because I just don't want to add extra weight. I mean, there's nothing critical in there anyways, so let's just use carbon. And then again, we're going to replace. Okay. I think I liked how it was the first time. Let's just leave it how it was. I have a feeling I made a design decision there, and it is what it is. Okay. Okay. Sometimes you try stuff out and it doesn't really work. Okay. So now, just a reminder, when you save a copy of like whenever you do some changes to something, save a copy. Okay. As you can see, first let me configure this so I don't save a copy of something I'll have to change again. So as you can see, just a second, we're going to hit that clear pivot point, hit override again, and then we're going to reopen this up. So this Shadow Viper project has gone through all of these backup saves, so I could revert it to all these saves. Each one of these saves denotes at least an hour of work on it, and it's been more work than that on it. It's probably been about 10 or 15 hours of work on this Shadow Viper. More like 10 hours of IRL time working on the Shadow Viper, not including the time on the recordings. I mean, no, it is including the time on the recordings. So these projects are not a small time investment, so don't think you're going to pump out one of these like in an hour, okay? These are longer projects than that. And I highly highly recommend that when you're working on projects, to just do them a little bit at a time. When you're starting out, do them a little bit at a time. Don't expect that you're going to be able to make something like this level quality or even NT level quality within like the first 6 months of playing the game. Some people can do that, but that is the exception, not the rule. Okay? Keep that in mind. Alright, I want to thank everybody for watching. I have a few other things to show off. A couple of things to go through, channel updates to go through. So if you want to click off now, I won't give you a hard time for it, but this is the end of the building section of the video. Okay, so channel updates include the Ajax available on Discord, as I touched on earlier. This is a EBP that's available via Discord for anybody on my Discord that has been there a week. The Wedgetail project will resume either before this video comes out or after this video comes out. I'm not sure which, but it is continuing. I am also putting out a poll on the Discord in a few minutes, my time, not recording time, not publishing time, for projects. So go into the Discord, vote on which project you want to see next, or give me some feedback on it. I want to address the elephant in the room about Reforged Eden 2 and content related to that. So, full honesty here, I have not touched Reforged Eden 2 yet. I've been watching the discussions about it and everything. I'm not really happy with it. I'm not really happy with how Vermilion is just saying, oh, this is the limits that you get with turret limits and device limits and stuff, and I'm hard coding these because I'm me, instead of making them configurable for the server admin and making the choice the player's choice, not his overlord dictatorship choice. Okay? That really rubs me the wrong way. And I'm going to get so much flack for saying this, but it's what I believe. And I believe that our ability to say these things is core to being human. So cancel culture me all you want for that. I don't like RE2 for that fact. I also don't like how big of a dickhead he is. There, I said it. However, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm going to be considering looking at RE2 content, but I want to build with it a little bit first on the back end. I want to see what the limitations are, learn more a little bit about it before I commit to actually making RE2 content. However, that being said, RE2 content will always come second to workshop builds and content that I make for vanilla players. Okay? RE2 is an optional mod. Vanilla ships for vanilla game and some of the stuff that I'm doing for like all players, not just players that subscribe to my workshop, but all players, that content comes first. Okay? So, RE2, it's in the pipeline. But I'm not going to be focusing on it and prioritizing it, okay? So just heads up from the get-go. Okay? As you guys know, I focus on content that I actually myself play. That I play myself. So if I'm on a server that plays RE1 with turret limits off, I'm going to focus on making content for that because that's where I'm having fun. If I ever play RE2, I may make some content for it. But I will, because my community wants me to, make some RE2 content. I can't guarantee the quality on it, and I can't guarantee that it's going to be for everyone, but I'll make some, because my community wants me to. But me having fun and being able to relay that fun and enjoyment through my videos is always going to come first. So if I'm not having fun with RE2, I reserve the right to just strip it out or strip it off the schedule completely. Be like, I don't like this mod. I don't want to play it. So I'm not going to play it. But that choice is going to happen after I actually play it, okay? I'm not going to completely bar it like I did with RE1, okay? It is what it is. Also, I will be doing some other game content here and there. I have a Pal World 10 tips you need before playing this game video that's been sitting in my to-do list for ages. So occasionally I might put out videos from other games. It's not going to be primary content. It's not going to be on the scheduled days. It's not going to interfere with the schedule. Same thing with update videos, with patch note videos. I've done a couple of those. I want to continue to do those. I just haven't had the ability to do them. It is what it is. Also, another note, I have new audio equipment sitting next to me on the lower shelf of my desk. I have not implemented that yet because I wanted to focus on getting content out quickly, and setting that extra equipment up is going to take some more time. So it's probably another week or two, possibly longer, before I set that up. I will use it when I am happy with the quality that it gives me, okay? But better audio quality is coming down the pipeline. Thumbnails and quality of thumbnails. I know that I don't touch on this very often, and some people have DM'd me and said that they don't like the thumbnail quality of videos. I hear you. I agree with you. However, the way I have chosen to set up thumbnails is that improvements on the thumbnails are iterative. I do slight improvements for each thumbnail that I do. You will also notice on the workshop that I have been using a new thumbnail style. Yes, changes and improvements to thumbnails are iterative, not, oh, one day it's this really crummy thing, and the next day it's Marvel Studios level of thumbnail quality. No. I would have to pay someone to create a Marvel Studios level quality thumbnail, or even an increased level quality thumbnail. I'm learning this all myself, okay? I'm doing this myself because I don't have the money to spend on buying a new thumbnail or paying someone to do it. I'd rather learn it myself, okay? I find value in learning things that I don't know. Also, I have a IRL job that might be a little bit disruptive to the schedule. Don't know how I'm going to balance that yet, but I will. Okay. So if there are some, if I seem tired, or if I'm a little bit more of a wreck than usual, it's probably because I just got off shift and I had to do recording afterwards. It happens. I'll try and do my best to mitigate it, but yeah. Alright, now for the end credits. I know it's been a long time coming. I know it's been a lot of chatting. I have a lot to cover since I've been gone for a month and a half. Let's see, where are you? Thank you to my patrons. Thank you. Thanks to you guys, I was actually able to reinvest the money that you sent me to get new audio equipment, which I am currently going to be setting up soon. Big thank you. You helped me improve this channel with your donations. I don't spend the money that these people give me on anything but improving the channel, okay? It's not like spent on a luxury TV or anything like that. No, that's budgeted completely separate. See, there's one other thing. Buy Me a Coffee site is linked below, but it is very stock, because I haven't gotten around to doing better on it. I apologize. I need to do better with setting up Buy Me a Coffee. It's a learning curve, and I don't really have somebody that'll, like, I can ask questions and have immediate responses. I have to go through the whole process of whatever. I'm making excuses here. It is what it is. But it's going to be improving. Patreon. No new information on that. Just a big thank you for using it. YouTube. Guys, I know that my channel doesn't have a watermark. I know it doesn't have a banner on the front page. And believe me, I have this giant freaking to-do list on my desktop. And I quote here, finish the goddamn banners for YouTube is the in caps is the entry on me doing that, because I'm just like kicking myself for not doing it promptly. Anyways, thank you everybody for listening to me rant and the channel updates, which were completely improvised and just bullet points. Remember to be kind to your fellow humans. Have a wonderful day. I apologize for any like coffee in our throat stuff you hear, because it is what it is. Have a good day. Be kind to your fellow humans. Remember to think critically. I should probably expand on that, but for those of you who think critically, you know what I'm talking about. And for those of you who don't have that superpower or the ability to think critically, don't worry about it. That sounded horrible. Have a good day.